Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Marvel Legends Bullseye figure. This is the regular version right here. This is the variant with the metallic undersuit, slightly grayer white areas, and an alternate head. So other than the alternate head, the figure is the exact same other than paint. So this guy's a little bit metallic and a little bit darker, and this guy is not. We're going to use this guy since he's the basic one for the review. He stands about 6.5 inches tall, very similar to a few of the other Marvel Legends figures. A lot of his parts are part of that reused body. Unfortunately, his body isn't the one that got reused mostly. They used that uglier one that kind of had the blockier muscles. This guy has really nice musculature, a really nice sculpt. I love this sculpt compared to the other generic body that they had out there at the time. And unfortunately, like I said, they used the other one more than this one. So this one's good though. I like this one. Particularly on this figure, I love the way they used that matte black with the very, very subtle blue shading. It looks so good. I hate these figures nowadays. They're all shiny looking. They look like cheap toys because of it. This one, even though he's almost all black with the tiniest bit of blue shading, looks so much better just because of that matte finish instead of that shiny finish. It looks so much better. I really appreciate that. And I wish Hasbro would get back to doing that, because even Hasbro had some of these figures that didn't look glossy. Anyway, enough talking about that. Let's look at the figure. He's got straps sculpted into the gloves with zippers that are painted, so that's always nice. You can see the stitch work all the way around. There's blue shading on the white parts. Same thing for the belt here. There's blue shading, nice sculpt work, and they painted the buttons. You can see that. Same thing down here. They painted the button and all of the little things down here. That you sculpted the stitch work. Really, they didn't leave out any details. It looks really good. Same thing with the boots, stitching, shading, sculpt work, zippers, everything looks really good. Paint work up here could be a little bit better. I've seen some that are better. This is probably a bad example for him, but it's the one I have, so that's all you're gonna get. Paint work on the face, there's shading on the face, the lips are painted, the eyes are painted well, painted really well. I forgot how good they did. How well they did on this figure. Sculpt is really good all the way around. Really, I'm really fond of this figure, and I don't have any particular fondness of the character, but this figure is really good. So let's look at the articulation. Head can look up and down really well, side to side. Really, any pose you want to put his head in, you can do. You just can't lean it from side to side, just the swivel. This is softer, but not completely soft, so it might limit the shoulders, but not too much. They did a good job with that. He's got the butterfly joint, pretty limited but effective. I mean, it doesn't look bad and it does work some, so that's okay. Full ball hinge shoulder, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. Not the best range of motion out of that, but pretty good. That's okay. We have a wrist swivel at the end of the glove, a wrist hinge, and individually hinged fingers, which I gotta say I'm not a huge fan of because they're not really effective for anything other than an open hand. He can kind of hold stuff, but it just doesn't work that well. So this is one of the cases where Toy Biz added more articulation than they needed to, which isn't really a bad thing, but I think he could have been better with just some nicely sculpted hands and maybe an accessory instead. That would have been better, I think. Decent ab crunch, actually really good ab crunch. Goes all the way forward, all the way back. We get a waist swivel right here. For the hips, it's a T joint. Is it a T joint? Oh, it's a Y joint, huh? I remembered it being a T joint. Whatever, it works either way. It's a Y jointed hinge, but you can just rotate the thigh around very simply. So pretty good range of motion there. And then you can see the thigh swivel as I was doing that. Double jointed knees. We have a boot swivel or a shin swivel at the top of the boot. We have an ankle hinge that works really well. Ankle rocker. That's always nice. And a toe hinge, which works pretty well. Sculpted the bottoms of the boots too. Really, there's nothing wrong with this figure at all. The only thing I would prefer is if he had T-jointed hips, which is always a plus, but not necessary. And then if maybe they did something different with the hands, but again, that's just a nitpick. It's not an issue really. So definitely, if you can pick up either one of these, I personally prefer the regular version just because it has that nice flat black. This one does have a nice look to it with the metallics and the heavier shading on the white parts. So either one is a safe bet. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other fun stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.